Hey there, I'm your quiz master, Sean, and today we have 100 questions about World War I. So let's test your knowledge, test your memory, and give your brain a workout. And let's start it with question number 1. What event is considered the catalyst for the start of World War I? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, signing of the Treaty of Versailles, or the invasion of Poland? The catalyst for the start of World War I. That would be the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Which major power was part of the Triple Entente during World War I? Germany, Austria-Hungary, or Russia? The major power was Russia. The Schlieffen Plan was a military strategy developed by which country? Was that France? Was that Germany? Or was that the United Kingdom? And that was Germany. Which European country was neutral at the beginning of World War I but joined the Allies in 1915? Was it Italy? Was it Japan? Or was it Belgium? And that country would be Italy. World War I officially began in what year? 1912, 1914, or was that year 1916? World War I officially began in 1914. Which battle is known for the first use of trench warfare in World War I? Was that the Battle of Marne, the Battle of Jutland, or the Battle of the Somme? Trench warfare. The Battle of the Marne. Not a multiple choice. Who was the leader of Germany during World War I? The leader of Germany during World War I, well, that would be Kaiser Wilhelm II. What was the name of the alliance led by Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire during World War I? Were they the Central Powers, the Allied Powers, or were they the Axis Powers? And they were known as the Central Powers. The sinking of which passenger ship by a German submarine played a significant role in the bringing the United States into World War I? Was that ship the Lusitania? Was it the Britannic? Or was it the Queen Mary? That was the sinking of the Lusitania. Which country withdrew from the war in 1917 following a national revolution? Was it France? Was it the United Kingdom? Or was it Russia? Who quit the war in 1917? That would be Russia. What was one of the goals of the Treaty of Versailles? Was it to punish Germany? Was it to annex Austria? Or was it to expand the colonial territories? One of the goals of the Treaty of Versailles was to punish Germany. How did that work out? Which British Prime Minister was in sit at the start of World War I? Winston Churchill, Neville Chamberlain, or Herbert Asquith? And that was Herbert Asquith. Excuse me. Which country was the first to use poison gas as a weapon in World War I? Was it Germany? Was it France? Or was it Russia? The first to use poison gas. Well, that would be Germany. Who was the commander of the American Expeditionary Forces, or the AEF, in World War I? Was it Douglas MacArthur? Was it John J. Pershing? Or was it George S. Patton? The American Expeditionary Forces was led by John J. Pershing. The Zimmerman telegram, a diplomatic communication, was a factor that influenced which country to join the war? Was that the United States? Was it Italy? Or was it Japan? and that influenced the United States. Not a multiple choice. Which battle marked the first time tanks were used in warfare on a large scale? That battle would be the Battle of Cambrai. The Balfour Declaration expressed support for the establishment of which country? Was that Israel? Was that Iraq? Or was that Jordan? The Balfour Declaration. That set up the establishment of Israel. The event that signaled the end of World War I was the Armistice of 1918, the Battle of the Somme, or the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. End of World War I would be the Armistice of 1918. Who was the person in the leadership position of the Bolshevik Party during the Russian Revolution? Was it Vladimir Lenin? Was it Joseph Stalin? Or was it Leon Trotsky? In that leadership position, it was Vladimir Lenin. Which country was part of the Triple Alliance before World War I, but later switched sides to join the Allies? Was it Italy? Was it Austria-Hungary? Or was it the Ottoman Empire? Who switched sides? Italy switched sides. The Western Front during World War I was characterized by what military strategy? Was it blitzkrieg? Was it trench warfare? Or was it naval blockade? And that military strategy was trench warfare. Which battle is known for the first use of poison gas on the Western Front? Was it the Battle of the Marne? Was it the Battle of Ypres? Was it the Battle of Jutland? And that was the Battle of Ypres. Which country was the last to surrender and sign an armistice, ending its involvement in World War I? Was it the Ottoman Empire? Was it Austria-Hungary? Or was it Germany? The last to surrender was Germany. Not a multiple choice. The Battle of Jutland was important because... We're looking for short answers here, not an essay. The Battle of Jutland was important because it was a decisive naval battle between Germany and the UK. Who was the leader of the Austro-Hungarian Empire during World War I? Was it Franz Joseph I? Was it Karl I? Or was it Count Leopold Berchtold? The leader of the Austro-Hungarian Empire during World War I was Franz Joseph I. The League of Nations was established after World War I for what purpose? 1. Promote international cooperation and prevent future wars. 2. Annex territories from defeated nations. Or 3. Establish a global empire. The League of Nations was established to promote international cooperation and prevent future wars. Who were the Big Four at the Paris Peace Conference in 1919, which played a key role in shaping post-war world? United States, United Kingdom, France, and Italy, United States, United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia, or France, Russia, Italy, and Japan? Who were the Big Four? United States, United Kingdom, France, and Italy. Which battle is often associated with the Christmas Truce of 1914, where soldiers from both sides temporarily ceased hostilities? The Battle of Marne, the Battle of the Somme, or the Battle of Ypres? And that was the Battle of Ypres. Which country was dismembered and had its territories redistributed among the Allies as a result of the Treaty of Trianon? Germany, Austria-Hungary, or the Ottoman Empire? Who was dismembered? Austria-Hungary was dismembered. Sounds gruesome. Who proposed the 14 points as a basis for peace negotiations after World War I? Georges Clemenceau, Woodrow Wilson, or David Lloyd George? The 14 points. Woodrow Wilson. What was the purpose of the war guilt clause in the Treaty of Versailles? Assign blame for the war to specific countries, provide reparations to war-torn nations, or establish a military alliance against future aggressors. The guilt clause, to assign blame for the war to specific countries. Which battle is often considered a turning point in favor of the Allies, halting Germany's advance into France in World War I? The Battle of Marne, the Somme, or Verdun? Turning point in the war for the Allies was the Battle of the Marne. The leader of the Ottoman Empire during World War I was Mehmet V, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, or Mehmet VI. Leader of the Ottoman Empire during World War I? That would be Mehmet V. What was the primary cause of the February Revolution in Russia in 1917? Economic hardships, unfavorable laws, or political scandals? What started the Russian Revolution in 1917? Economic hardships. Not a multiple choice. What city did the assassination that marked the beginning of World War I take place? That city was Sarajevo. Which country was not invited to the League of Nations after World War I? Was it Russia? Was it the United States? Or was it France? Who did not get invited to the League of Nations? Russia was not invited to the League of Nations. Which battle is known for the first use of flamethrowers by German forces? The Battle of the Somme, the Battle of Verdun, or the Battle of Tannenberg? Where were flamethrowers first used? That was at the Battle of Verdun. What was the purpose of the naval blockade imposed by the British Royal Navy during World War I? To prevent enemy submarines from entering British waters, to cut off the Central Powers from overseas trade, or to provide safe passage for humanitarian aid? And that blockade was to cut off the Central Powers from overseas trade. Not a multiple choice. Which country experienced a significant loss in its territory as a result of the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye? Which country was that? That was Austria. The Battle of Gallipoli resulted in what? A decisive victory for the Allies in the Middle East? A victory for the Ottoman Empire against the Allies? It led to the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Battle of Gallipoli was a victory for the Ottoman Empire against the Allies. Which country declared war on Serbia, triggering a chain reaction of alliances and leading to the start of World War I? Germany, Austria, Hungary, or was it Russia? And that would be Austria-Hungary. The Battle of Tannenberg was a significant victory for which Central Power? Was it Germany? Was it for the Ottoman Empire? Or was it for Bulgaria? The Battle of Tannenberg was a significant victory for Germany. Which French military leader served as the commander of the Allies during the final months of World War I? Joseph Joffre, Ferdinand Foch, or Philippe Pétain? The French military leader was Ferdinand Foch. What was the primary goal of the Arab Revolt during World War I? To gain independence from the Ottoman Empire, to join the Central Powers, or to secure control over the Suez Canal? It was to gain independence from the Ottoman Empire. Not a multiple choice. What was the role of the Red Baron, Manfred von Richthofen, during World War I? The Red Baron. What role did he play? He was a fighter pilot. Not a multiple choice. The Armenian genocide occurred during World War I in which country? The The Armenian Genocide took place in the Ottoman Empire. Which country was the first to use unrestricted submarine warfare during World War I? Was it the United Kingdom? Was it Germany? Or was it the United States? Germany was the first to use unrestricted submarine warfare. What impact did the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk have on Russia's involvement in World War I? It led to Russia's withdrawal from the war. It increased Russia's commitment to the Allied powers. It had no significant impact on Russia's war effort. It led to Russia's withdrawal from the war. What was the impact of the U.S. entry into World War I on the balance of power? It shifted the balance in favor of the Central Powers. It had no significant impact on the overall balance. It shifted the balance in favor of the Allies. It shifted the balance in the favor of the Allies. Who was the primary architect of the concept of total war during World War I? Otto von Bismarck, Paul von Hindenburg, or Erich Ludendorff? The concept of total war? Erich Ludendorff. Which World War I battle is associated with the use of the creeping barrage artillery attack? The Battle of the Marne, the Battle of the Somme, or the Battle of Vimy Ridge? The creeping barrage, the Battle of the Somme. Who was the commander of the German submarine fleet during World War I? Alfred von Tirpitz, Erich Ludendorff, or Lothar von Arnold de la Perière? The German submarine fleet, Lothar von Arnold de la Perière. Which battle is considered the longest single battle of World War I, lasting over 3 months? Was it the Battle of the Marne? Was it the Battle of Verdun? Or was it the Battle of Passau and Dale? That was the Battle of the Verdun. The concept of war guilt and the imposition of heavy reparations on Germany were stipulated in which article of the Treaty of Versailles? Article 231, Article 50, or Article 14? And that would be Article 231. What was the significance of the Treaty of Sèvres in 1920? It formalized the end of World War I. It established the League of Nations. It dissolved the Ottoman Empire. It dissolved the Ottoman Empire. Who were the Black Hand Group leading to World War I? The Secret Society of Serbian Nationalists, the elite German military unit, or the Allied Espionage Network? That would be the Secret Society of Serbian Nationalists. Which country served as the primary mediator in the peace negotiations at the end of World War I? Was that the United Kingdom? Was that France? Or was that the United States? And that was the United States. The Battle of the Lys, also known as the Fourth Battle of Ypres, took place in which year? 1915, 1917, or 1918? The Battle of the Lys took place in 1918. Who was the commander of the Italian military during World War I? Was that Benito Mussolini, Giuseppe Garibaldi, or Luigi Cardona? The commander of the Italian military, Luigi Cardona. Not a multiple choice. What was the result of the Battle of Jutland during World War I? The result of the Battle of Jutland, or Jutland, that was the largest naval battle, but had no clear winner. The term doughboys was used to refer to soldiers from which country during World War I? The United Kingdom, France, or the United States? The term doughboys, that was referring to soldiers from the United States. Which nation comprised the principal members of the Central Powers in World War I? Germany, the Ottoman Empire and Italy, Germany, Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, or Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Principal members of the Central Powers was Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. What was the key factor that led Italy to switch sides from the Central Powers to the Allies? Economic incentives, territorial promises, or ideological differences? Why did Italy switch sides? It was out of territorial promises. Which Austrian Archduke's assassination triggered the outbreak of World War I? Was it Rudolf? Was it Franz Joseph? Or was it Franz Ferdinand? Which Archduke's assassination? Franz Ferdinand. Who was the Ottoman military officer known for his leadership during the Gallipoli campaign? Talat Pasha, Mustafa Kemal Bey, or Mehmet VI? The leadership during that campaign was Mustafa Kemal Bey. In which year did the Ottoman Empire officially join the Central Powers in World War I? Was it in 1914? Was it in 1915? Or was it in 1916? The Ottoman Empire officially joined the Central Powers in 1914. Who was the chief of the German General Staff during the early years of World War I? Was it Erwin Rommel? Was it Paul von Hindenburg? Or was it Helmut von Moltke? During the early years of World War I, the German leader was Helmut von Moltke. Which battle marked the first major conflict between the British and German fleets in the North Sea? The Battle of Jutland, the Battle of Trafalgar, or was it the Battle of Coronel? And that was the Battle of Jutland. What was the primary reason for the Bulgaria joining the Central Powers? To defend itself against Serbia, similar ideology with the Central Powers, or disagreements with the Allies? Why did Bulgaria join the Central Powers? To defend itself against Serbia. Not a multiple choice. Who was the student who assassinated the Archduke Franz Ferdinand? A student. That student was Gavrilo Princip. Who were the principal members of the Allies in World War I? France, Russia, Germany, and the Ottoman Empire, France, Russia, UK, and the United States, Austria, Hungary, Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and the UK. The principal allies were France, Russia, the UK, and the United States. Who was the British naval admiral known for his role in the Battle of Jutland? Was that Douglas Haig? Was it Winston Churchill? Or was it John Jellicoe? The British naval admiral was Admiral John Jellicoe. What was the infamous document that proposed a military alliance between Germany and Mexico against the United States? Zimmermann Telegram, the Balfour Declaration, or the Sykes-Picot Agreement? And that was the Zimmermann Telegram. Which British general led his troops to capture Jerusalem in World War I? T.E. Lawrence, Douglas Haig, or Edmund Allenby? The British general who captured Jerusalem in World War I was Edmund Allenby. The U.S. officially entered World War I in what year? Was it 1914? Was it 1915? Or was it 1917? The U.S. officially entered World War I in 1917. Which battle marked the first major American engagement on the Western Front? The Battle of the Somme, the Battle of Belleau Wood, or the Battle of Jutland? The first major American engagement was the Battle of Belleau Wood. Which of the following territories was not a cause for the dispute in the post-war negotiations? Alsace-Lorraine, Sarbazin, or Rhineland? Which one was not a cause for dispute after the war? Alsace-Lorraine. Which British Prime Minister attended the Paris Peace Conference? Neville Chamberlain, David Lloyd George, or Winston Churchill? Who attended the Paris Peace Conference? That would be David Lloyd George. What was the name of the British tank that played a significant role in World War I? Was it the Spitfire? Was it the Mark I? Or was it the Tiger? The British tank in World War I was the Mark I. Which battle is often considered the largest and bloodiest on the Eastern Front in World War I? The Battle of Tannenberg, the Battle of the Marusian Lakes, or the Battle of Galicia? The largest and bloodiest on the Eastern Front was the Battle of Galicia. What was the name of the treaty that brought Italy into the war on the side of the Allies? The Treaty of London, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, or the Treaty of Trianon? It was the Treaty of London. Who was a British nurse famous for her service on the Western Front during World War I? Was that Florence Nightingale? Was that Edith Cavell? Or was that Clara Barton? And that would be Edith Cavell. Which Allied country faced a major mutiny in its navy in 1917? Was it France? Was it the United Kingdom? Or was it Russia? Who faced a major mutiny? That was France. The Gallipoli campaign's main purpose was the liberation of Serbia, the invasion of Italy, or the capture of Constantinople. Gallipoli campaign's main purpose was the capture of Constantinople. Who was the commander of the American Expeditionary Forces in Europe? Was it George S. Patton? Was it John J. Pershing? Or was it Douglas MacArthur? The commander of the American Expeditionary Forces was John J. Pershing. Which Allied country faced significant internal strife due to the conscription crisis of World War I? Was it the United Kingdom? Was it Canada? Or was it Australia? And that country was Canada. What was the name of the British codebreakers' headquarters in World War I? Was it Bletchley Park? Was it Room 40? Or was the GCHQ Center? The name of the British codebreakers' headquarters in World War I, that would be Room 40. Which African colony was a significant battleground between the Allies and the Central Powers? Was it Algeria? Was it South Africa? Or was it the German East Africa? That would be German East Africa. Who was the commander of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, ANZAC, during the Gallipoli campaign? John Monash, William Birdwood, or Ian Hamilton? And that would be William Birdwood. Who was the British Foreign Secretary responsible for the issuance of the Balfour Declaration? David Lloyd George, Arthur Balfour, or Winston Churchill? The British Foreign Secretary at that time was Arthur Balfour. Who was the German Chancellor who famously declared that Germany was fighting a war on two fronts? Otto von Bismarck, Theobald von Bethmann Hollweg, or Wilhelm II? And that would be Theobald von Bethmann Hollweg. Who was the Ottoman Grand Vizier during the end of World War I? Ahmet İzzet Pasha, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, or Ahmet Tevfik Pasha? The Ottoman Grand Vizier at that time was Ahmet İzzet Pasha. The result of the Battle of Tannenberg on the Eastern Front was it a Russian victory? Was it a stalemate? Or was it a German victory? The result of the Battle of Tannenberg. The result was a German victory. Who was the Austro-Hungarian commander-in-chief during the early stages of World War I? Was that Franz Conrad von Hotzendorf, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, or Franz Joseph? And that would be Franz Conrad von Hotzendorf. What was the purpose of the Austro-Hungarian invasion of Serbia in 1914? Opening a new front against Italy, establishing a defensive buffer against Russia, retaliation for the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And that was retaliation for the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Who was the German admiral in command of the German High Seas Fleet during the Battle of Jutland? Reinhard Scheer, Franz von Hipper, or Alfred von Tirpitz? And that was Reinhard Scheer. Who was the German military commander-in-chief during the latter part of World War I? Erich Ludendorff, Paul von Hindenburg, or Alfred von Schlieffen? The German military commander at the end of World War I, Erich Ludendorff. What was the primary goal of the Ottoman Empire in the Caucasus region during the World War I? Regain territories it had lost to Russia, open a new front against the British, or establish a defensive line against Russian advances? And that would be to regain territories it had lost to Russia. Which country was the last to join the Central Powers, doing so in 1915? Was it Bulgaria? Was it Italy? Or was it Japan? The last to join the Central Powers? Well, that would be Bulgaria. And now question 100, the last one. Who was the Ottoman military officer and leader of the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire? Was it Mustafa Kemal Ataturk? Was it Talat Pasha? Or was it Faisal I? And that would be Faisal I. And that was question 100. Thank you for playing. Drop your score in the comments section, please. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for playing Quiz Time. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.